Hello again. I'm excited to get started today. This segment is called The Art of Songwriting. And the first thing I want to talk about is the word genre. The definition of the word genre is a category of artistic composition, as in music or literature, characterized by similarities in form, style, or subject matter. So, one thing that's super interesting to me is that what genre we find ourselves as writers sometimes might not even be the genre that we listen to the most. When I was a sophomore in high school, these are the records that I was listening to: Echo and the Bunnymen, U2, The Cure, The Cult, Psychedelic Furs. Not really anything country about those. But when I started to write music, everybody was telling me those songs sound more country than anything else. And all these years later, I'm still influenced by all the things that I listen to, from classical to punk to pop to opera to movie soundtracks to folk music. All of it has shaped what I write and the way that I write. But as far as genres, I've had success in pop, in Latin, and in rock. But I've had more success in the genre of country, partially because I chose to move to Nashville and use this city as my creative home base. And it's interesting that people told me from the very first song that I wrote that my music sounded more country more often than anything else. So just know, first of all, that what you do naturally, the way you write naturally, may fall into a genre that even surprises you. And it may even fall into a genre that doesn't exist, which excites the heck out of me, because chances are that means it's going to be fresh, new, and different to a lot of people. Not because you need to categorize yourself, you see, but simply because there's a different avenue for each of your songs to reach the most people and have the most opportunities. So awareness of genre is very important. Now, each genre of music has different styles, forms, and subject matters that are discussed and played within that genre. And if you're going to successfully make music for a certain genre, you're going to have to learn what works within that genre. And so a study of each of those genres will be something that you're going to want to do. And we will definitely cover some of that in later courses. But for now, what I want you to know is that number one, there are different genres of music. Number two, the songs within those different genres have similarities of style, form, and often subject matter, meaning the way those writers and artists in those genres sing about things, play about things, and talk about things have some similarities. Now, I do believe that a truly, truly great song can have its day in multiple genres. For instance, a very country Dolly Parton wrote a song called I Will Always Love You, and she put it out herself in the early 1970s. But later, for the movie soundtrack of The Bodyguard, Whitney Houston recorded that same song in a completely different genre, and the song was an absolute hit in both genres. Two great songwriters, Alan Shamlin and Mike Reed, sat down once and wrote a song called I Can't Make You Love Me, and they wrote it like a bluegrass song. Something like, I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. And then Mike Reed took it home that night and sat down on his piano and kind of went back to his roots of jazz and blues, and came back the next day and played the version that you hear Bonnie Raitt singing to his co-writer Alan Shamlin, and Alan said, that's the version. I can't make you love me if you don't. You know it. But that is somewhat rare. And so for our purposes right now, I want you to first write down the top 3 genres that you love to listen to. Maybe country, maybe rock, maybe pop. And then I want you to write down on a piece of paper next to those 3 what genre that people say that the music you write falls into. Now, you don't necessarily have to label yourself as anything, but you do need to be aware of what other people are telling you that your music sounds like. Now, if somebody says to you, oh, you're a songwriter, what genre? A great answer is the best that I can be. That's my genre. And I love it when any songwriter doesn't want to pigeonhole themselves into one place, especially when they're in the early years of their creativity and anything is possible. But be aware of what people tell you that your music sounds like, and be aware as you get better and as you shape your craft to pay close attention to the similarities that you see in music within the genres that you love, because those similarities will help you make the music that matters to you within those genres.